And we're live. Hey guys, it's Dana from the Run Eat Drink podcast at runeatdrink.net. It is Thursday. It is week 6, day 2 of our Galloway Easy 5K program, and it's time for our second short run of the week. So we are going to be doing another 20-minute run today, but we're going to change it up a little bit. Instead of doing the 5-second run, 25-second walk, which is a 1-to-5 ratio, we are going to be keeping that same ratio today, but we're going to be running for 10 seconds and walking for 50. Why, you ask? Well, for a couple of reasons. One, I wanted to give you guys a little bit of an example of, how you can play with the ratios and see what the results will do. And two, I'm kind of curious myself to see what that ratio change up is actually going to do. I have a couple of thoughts. I think we'll likely see one of two scenarios. One, we're either going to be faster because we are spending less time in the acceleration and deceleration during our running interval, and it gives us a little more time, making distance at speed, which that's going to be great. That's going to put us even further ahead of the balloon ladies if we're likely to run into any on our course today. We're not likely to run into any on our course today, but in preparation for potentially doing a Disney race later on. The other option I think that we're likely to see is that maybe we're going to end up being a little bit slower, and that could be because running 10 seconds builds up more fatigue than we're accustomed to, and we slow down more in the walking pace. So it's a bit of a science experiment today. We're going to see how this works. I'm, of course, hydrating a little bit before we get out here and start pounding the pavement. But our total time running today is still 20 minutes, and our actual run ratio is exactly the same, even though we're doubling up on the running and doubling up on the walking. We're keeping that ratio the same. So I don't know about you guys. I'm ready to do some science. In the meantime, if you're jumping into the chat, leave a comment, say hi, tell me who you are, where you're from. Let me know if you're running. Are you running today? Are you going to do it on a replay? Or if you're not a runner at all and you're just checking this out, I'd love to know. Love to get an idea of just who you are. Say hi. I could use the motivation on the run, if nothing else. I do have today's workout. I transferred it over to my Garmin. So let me go ahead and get my Garmin started here. And I am not doing their suggested workout. They have other things in mind. Let's do the workouts I uploaded. Week 6, day 2. Hey, Katie, how are you? Thank you for jumping in. And like the previous runs that we've been doing, this is going to be bookended by a 3-minute warm-up and a 3-minute cool-down. So let's get the warm-up going. And get this party started. Oh, you know what, Katie? I'm doing really well. It was a good day at work. It was a busy day at work, and the weather actually has improved. We were looking at some pretty serious clouds earlier in the day, and I was pretty convinced I was going to be running in the rain again. That thankfully is off at the distance, as you can see in the video here. And I don't think that we're going to be encountering it, at least for the next 26 minutes, which is exactly what I need to happen. So that'll be good. We also have a little bit of a breeze right now, which is nice. The air is moving. So running conditions are pretty good. I mean, it's a little warm, a little humid, but that's to be expected here in Florida this time of year. Yeah, I'm just excited to get the run going. I'm also excited because today marked the end of my 48-hour fast that I was doing. So I am actually cleared to eat veggies. And I actually started my day with a sweet potato with a little pumpkin pie spice on it. So no sugar, just the spices. And that made breakfast of champions. It was better than any bowl of cereal at that particular moment in time. So I've actually had a little bit of food, and all is well. I'm going to do another potato or two, I think, for dinner tonight, because I'm doing a little bit of a coming off of the fast and mono diet of potatoes, and then going full tilt, variety of vegan options after that. Yeah, sweet potato with a little pumpkin pie spice sprinkled on top. Pretty awesome. Nice and healthy. I don't add any butter or salt, just the spice itself. And you get good sweet potatoes that are nice and sweet. If you do want to sweeten them up, a really nice trick is actually to get a little bowl or ramekin and put in some fresh dates, a little bit of water, and microwave that. Get them nice and soft and really, really well hydrated. And then when you put your if you put your sweet potato in a blender, we're about to start. 10 seconds. You put your sweet potato in there, and you end up pureeing them. And you put the dates in there with it as it's pureeing. What you end up with is this wonderful sweetness and a little extra fiber thrown in there for good measure. Well, hey, Aim, how are you? Glad you could join me. Rob, look at this. I got a party going on here. 100 degrees. Well, so you got no humidity. I don't know. I think I would take that over the humidity. Higher temperature, but no humidity. I loved the fact when we spent time in the desert Southwest that we didn't find ourselves with our clothes sticking to us, even though it was, you get warm and you're clearly sweating. All right, so like I mentioned at the top of the show, or top of the stream, we're doubling up. We're doing 10-second runs, 50-second walks. That maintains the 1-to-5 ratio that we were doing before. What it does, though, is it spaces out the running intervals a good bit, and it gives you more time actually running at your top speed. So my scientific mind, I'm no Stephen Hawking, don't get me wrong, but my science brain is telling me that the net effect will be a faster speed unless it causes me to walk slower. So we'll see. Today we're doing a science experiment. All right. Now the good news is total time running is exactly the same, and we'll be able to actually do direct comparisons of time, which is great. So Rob, where are you at that it's 100 degrees today? Where have you traveled to? Bunnies everywhere. It didn't rain, or if it rained here while I was at work, it has long since stopped, and the rabbits have come back out. It rained up by my work. Oh, and we're about to go again. Pooches. Our neighbors have a Bernese mountain dog. It is so pretty. I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to like this by comparison, since we've been doing that same 5:55:25 and interval for the last, well, 5.5 weeks. Or really, this is the start of week 6 or middle of week 6. So it's been a good bit doing the 525. But I do like the 1-to-5 ratio a lot. I want to say the last time I did this interval at a race, my time was sub 14 minutes a mile. So I'll be curious to see what today's training run looks like. And of course, just like all the other days, the goal during the walk phase is 1 footfall per second. During the run phase is 1.5 to 2 footfalls per second. So doing a little bit of counting, doing a whole lot of sweating already. Again, it's not super hot in terms of air temperature, but humidity is the killer here today. Yeah, this should be good. Yeah, we're already a quarter of the way done. We've done 5 running intervals. Hey, Trip, how are you? Yeah, we got a lot of bunnies right now. All right. Oh, excellent. I'm so glad you're doing this. That's fantastic. I love hearing that. Well, keep your eyes on the road as best you can. And, or are you doing it on a treadmill? Let me know. What are your running conditions like? I'm in the mid 80s, kind of breezy, clouds in the distance, and humidity. Ooh, somebody's working on something. I smell burnt wiring. Ooh, not good. That's never a good smell. Here we go. One thing to keep in mind too, when you're doing your run, try to maintain as smooth of a gait as possible without creating a lot of unnecessary bounce. There's a tendency that a lot of people have to do that. And what you're doing is you're either pushing up with your knee or pushing up with the ball of your foot using your calf muscle. Aside from the fact that you can really exacerbate like plantar fasciitis that way, you can also really overtax and overtire your calf muscle and fatigue yourself earlier than necessary. And remember, we're trying to do shorter strides, quicker turnover, because we're wanting to avoid injury and we're not trying to kill ourselves here. 85 degrees out. All right. Excellent. Well, I mean, sorry. Similar conditions to me. Whew. I think, thankfully, everybody's either home from work already. Yeah, I think they're home from work already. So we shouldn't have a ton of traffic today. And here we go, about to start. All right. I don't know. This is hard to gauge. Do I like this more? I think what I will like at the end is just seeing what impact, if any, changing the interval up has done for me. And again, for some of you, you may find that this is still too frequent in terms of start and stop. And that's totally cool. Excellent, Katie. Day 4, you got this. And Susie. Man, I got a party going on here. Amy's going to be jealous. I'm just glad you guys can come hang out for a little bit. Another thing to keep in mind with your run segment is try to focus on your posture. There's a tendency, especially as you get tired, to lean forward. That's kind of your body. Well, abs and lower back, of course, get tired. And then you subconsciously are trying to let gravity pull you forward. Problem with that, of course, is if you end up with an obstacle in your way, you're already more potentially off balance. You could fall. You want to be able to move gingerly to avoid obstacles. You don't want to fall out of their way and hope you get it right. I'm skipping this interval until I turn around, and now I'm going to do it. I shouldn't say skip it. I had to start my interval a little bit late. I don't like running a loop on my street. One thing I don't particularly care for is doing the interval at the turnaround. I don't think it messes with the GPS, but I don't know that it messes with the GPS. So rather than take a chance and skew the data, I want to do my intervals on the clean straightaway. Because the total distance, separating my out and my back is really only, the width of a street. And I think that our streets here are about 24 feet wide. And I just don't know how sensitive the GPS would be to all of that. Don't like running in the street where cars are. I'm with you. I've gotten much more cognizant over the years of trying to wear brighter, higher contrast clothes. Not to say an occasional black shirt doesn't sneak in there, it does. Running in the morning early. I have headlamps for that. And I absolutely run against traffic. Alright. We only have 7 more intervals to do. That's great. So that means total run time left is 70 seconds. Have to work on not slumping over as you get fatigued. Your upper back starts to ache. Yeah, stumbling over obstacles for me would be the big one, or evading the wildlife, like that little guy right there. It could be dangerous. I think they're shifty. They're plotting. They know they're cute. Here we go. It's kind of like my cats. I know they're shifty. All right.
Yeah, typically if I'm feeling back pain, it can be in the shoulders or in between the shoulder blades. And that's usually if I'm too tense and I'm, like fighting through a segment, part of a race. If I haven't kind of cleared my head into the run portion itself and just get the stress of the day out, I'll feel that a lot. So, and sometimes, especially on a long run, after the first 5K, if I'm experiencing that, I will stop and do some stretches to alleviate not my legs, but my back, because that's the part where I'm holding that stress. And then some days I just have to have Amy basically walk on my back to adjust it. It happens. I may stop up here at the driveway and get a sip of water because I'm parched. And we're a couple of segments away from that. Here we go. Start running. Oh, man. Yeah, it's the heat. I think that on the next one of these that I do, I may have to adjust the times a little bit. I really thought I was going to get rained on today. I think I just got lucky. The summer thunderstorms here being what they are, that may have to happen. So I'll let you guys know. What I would like to know, though, is what are you more interested in seeing? Well, let me back up. Do you want to see another live stream series like this? Is this something that's of value? Is it helping you to get off the couch and get moving? Or at least keeping you entertained while you're moving? If so, then would you prefer to see me do the Galloway Faster 5K program? Would you prefer to see the 10K program? Inquiring minds. Katie, I'll tell you what. I'd take it, but it would just blow warm, moist air. Hey, Rhonda. Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I just, we've had so many people join in and stay with us who aren't runners. I love that. I mean, for the longest time, truth be told, I didn't consider myself a runner. I thought that was really a term reserved for fast people. And again, my conceptions of running or preconceptions are all fueled by my high school experience more than anything. And growing up in Tampa, Florida, I dreaded running like the plague because it was always a billion degrees outside. And there was no reward for it other than not getting yelled at by your PE coach. And that'll only motivate you so much. So that's a tough sell. Okay, we got 2 more running segments. I think I'm just going to power through and then grab the water for the 3-minute cool down. So here we go. There's my water. I can see it right there on the back of the truck. Ooh. Uh-oh, the vote is split. If you guys who watch this back in a replay would do me a favor and drop a vote or comment in about what you'd rather see. I'm just kind of taking the temperature, and I may ask Amy to put up an actual poll online so that we can collect some feedback in a more scientific fashion. Okay, last running segment is just about to start. Got like 5 seconds. Oh, okay, Susie, you have a good one. I'll talk with you soon. All right. Wait, hold on, what's that say? I don't know that I'm worth watching twice, but thank you. Oh, yeah, the 10K is ultimately my favorite distance to do, but the heat out here is something else. All right. And Katie says faster 5K. All right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's not necessarily an either or proposition that I'll never do them both. It's just as far as what's next. The faster series actually incorporates some of those exercises that we've talked about on the show before, the cadence drills and the acceleration gliders. And that may be a good tutorial type of thing to let people know, like, the Galloway training method actually has more to offer than just run for a little bit and stop. So we'll see. I think Amy collecting that scientific data is going to be key. Oh, goodness. We are in the 3-minute cool down. It's official. I love that. I didn't get to get outside ahead of the race or the run today. So when I sign off from here, I still have another 19 minutes of running I got to knock out for the 75 hard challenge. So I do that. I drink this water and I believe one more water and I'm done for the day. And then I'm literally completely done for the day. Hashtag I'm sweating everywhere. Yeah, that's a side effect. It happens. Think of it as slowness leaving the body, I guess. What do the Marines say? Pain is weakness leaving the body. All right, so we are just a minute left, and this has been great. I really cannot thank you guys enough. It's been like having a running buddy with me today. And again, you'll notice that even though I doubled the run time and the walk time, keeping that same ratio, I still didn't get to the point where I was huffing and puffing to where I couldn't talk. And you'll notice that as I've started doing the cool down, the recovery to get me back to a very conversational, that is very sweet for you to say. I'm glad. I am really, really glad we could help with that. That's the, if you're already motivated and you just want something for accountability, more than happy to help. That always helps me anyway. Yeah, we're in the last 10 seconds here. Perfect. But yeah, you'll see like the recovery now that we started the 3-minute cool down is very quick. And aside from being sweaty, which, yeah, you're gonna be, I had saved there, sorry. So let me see some stats here and see how we did by comparison. I'm very curious. Okay. Are you ready for this? We're pretty consistent. I think it might be a little bit faster. It's not going to be, this is not a game-changing amount of speed difference, but this is saying that we covered a total distance of 1.69 miles today, and the average pace was 15 minutes, 24 seconds a mile. Now, I think that is our first time being, I have to go back and look. I've got all of the stats saved for run days, but I think that is our first time being sub 15:30. So we're, seeing a little bit of a speed increase there, which I think is very valuable. And again, I don't feel appreciably worse doing it this way as opposed to the 5 seconds. It's going to be all in what you like, what you are feeling like doing. And the 5 second run interval is super easy. The other way you can change this up is, we're doing a 1-to-5 ratio. So that means for every 1 second of running, we're doing 5 seconds of walking. That's how you get 5:25 or 10:50. You can play with it. Instead of doing a 1-to-5 ratio, you could do a 1-to-4. So you could do a 5 second run, 20 second walk. And that means you have more frequent running segments and more frequent but slightly shorter rest segments. And you'll be shocked at what kind of differences you can see. I typically do, I very much like the 1-to-5, like a 10:50. I also like a 15:45, and that's actually a 1-to-3 ratio. So 15 seconds running, 45 seconds walking. And that one I can pretty consistently get results that put me below 14 minutes a mile doing that one. And it's pretty incredible to think that you're running only 15 seconds for every minute and you're getting that kind of an improvement. So this week on the Saturday run, that's going to be Saturday morning, it is a 3.5 miler. And remember, you can feel free to do your intervals if you so choose. You don't have to. Interval work is totally optional on long run days. This is all about total time on your feet, total distance traveled. And that is going to effectively push our runner's wall out past the finish line of the 5K. It's Jeff Galloway's method of making sure you don't hit your wall on race day, or doing what he can to help you mitigate the chances of that happening. So we're going to be doing that. I think I'm going to continue with our past practice of just doing that as a walk with you guys, so that you can see at the end what that's going to look like, as far as how even doing the long run as a walk helps you build that endurance and get you ready for race day. So anyway, I've got 19 more minutes of running I'm going to go take care of. In the meantime, a new episode is up. The live stream from last night, our Wednesday night beer chat, which is currently a water chat, is up. Check those both out on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter. Of course, subscribe to the show. Please, we'd love to have you subscribe to the show and download and listen to everything that's in the feed. And we really appreciate you guys coming along with us. So thank you so much. Hashtag this is the Galloway. Absolutely. Yes. I feel like I should be playing the Mandalorian theme as I fade out. Katie, you have a great evening as well. Trip, good job. Let me know how you feel when you're done. And I'll talk to you guys really, really soon. Be safe. Later.